Live. Hello everyone, my name is Cypher and today we're back into a new Division 2 build video. It's been a while since my last build video. I think at the time I'm recording this, it's been like about a week and a half or almost 2 weeks, and I really want to apologize for that. You probably already saw that at the very beginning of the video, but really what's going on here is that I've been kind of just dealing with college stuff. It's new stuff, right? Kind of try to get back into that routine of like a lot more schoolwork, a lot more regular work, stuff like that. So obviously I won't be uploading videos as much, but I will try to make sure that it's at least one video a week and not giving you guys that huge just content drought. But obviously it is kind of hard to make content for the game when they extend the season an extra month. But from what I've seen from the new PTS, like the new exotics look pretty cool, except for the chess piece. That new SMG that's coming back with the incursions coming back from Division 1, which is pretty nice. That new vector is going to be nuts. I'm going to have so many build videos on that, and I cannot wait to show you guys that. But for today, we're going to be going over an easy-to-build new PvP video for new players who are coming into the game. There's probably going to be a sale for when the new season comes out, so we're going to have some new players. So if you were thinking of getting the game soon enough, or like getting into Conflict, or just some regular Dark Zone stuff, this is a pretty easy to put together build that will get the job done, so you can at least be somewhat competitive in a lot of your team fights. So let's get started. Starting off with the specialization, we are using the Firewall specialization. Main reason you're using this is for that armor kit, that 10% extra critical hit damage grip, and you could use the Striker Shield, but I'm not going to be using that in this video. Overall, this is a pretty good specialization, especially for that armor kit, which I will go more into detail real soon, where basically what it'll do is, the second you place it up, similar to the survivalist specialization, it will not give you all your armor immediately. Over the course of the next 10 seconds after you apply the armor kit, it'll give you 200% armor and health, which is really nice for face tanking some extra damage. I recommend plating up before you get into like a team fight, so that way the second you go in there, you can have some extra armor building up, so that way you can face tank a little bit more damage. We do have 1.3 million armor on this build, so it is a little bit squishier than usual. Typically, people will have 1.5 million, or if you have some higher expertise, you'll have maybe 1.7 million armor. But 1.3 million is the best in between, at least in my opinion, between DPS and survivability. Going off next to the weapons. So you do have a lot of weapon variety that you can run here. I'm using my personal favorite AR in the game, the Carbine 7. So with this AR, you can get it from AR targeted loot, or I believe the Mannington National Zoo has a better drop rate for it as well. But you could get it from AR targeted loot, but you need to have something very specific on this AR. So to maximize DPS, you want to make sure that you roll either damage to targets out of cover or armor damage on this assault rifle. And the main reason for that is that in most cases, like 99.999% of scenarios, it will roll with the weapon talent overflowing. I have another Carbine 7 right here where I had to get damage to targets out of cover. I got much better rolls here, but I wanted to roll flatline on it for like my pulse videos. But this one, I am going to be using Optimist, which increases weapon damage by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. If we go into the attachments, I got a 5% crit hit chance scope, 20 round mag, 10% critical hit damage from the underbarrel short grip, which is nice. This is a specialization exclusive, and I have 5% crit hit chance on the muzzle brake. Going off onto my other weapon here, I'm going to be using the Sail Elmo's engine, as it's basically essentially the best assault rifle in the game as of right now, especially for PvP. PvE doesn't matter. It's really just best in slot for a lot of PvP builds, mainly for that shock ammo, but you get a lot of really good stats here. So it's based off of the M4 platform, even though it looks like an LOVAC rifle, which is pretty funny. But it's usually just the casing, the housing for the barrel and stuff like that. That kind of makes it look like that. But gun terminology and stuff aside, it has somewhat decent base damage. It's a little bit low for most ARs, but it makes up for that with that decent RPM at 850, which is, like I said, based off of the M4, and it comes with a 70 round mag. This is one of the few exotics that you can roll damage targets out of cover on. So once you get the weapon blueprint and you have the exotic, you go over to your crafting bench, and then you can go recalibrate this after like re-rolling the weapon. And you can get any like attribute you want. If you want to get rate of fire, damage to armor, damage targets that I cover like I have, which I do believe is best in slot for a lot of damage output. That's what you can do really here. But the main reason you're using this weapon is for its talent and its mods. So for the talent, Actum Est, shooting an enemy with this weapon will give 1 stack. And at 100 stacks, the next magazine will be filled with shock ammo. So you get 70 bullets of shock ammo, which is why this is really just a really annoying weapon to go with in PvP. I will have a build, like for my 1,000 subscribers special, I will be having a 100% Hasbro build, which you can use for the Iron Horse raid, you can use it for PvE, you can use it for PvP, and I will have a video on that coming out when I reach 1,000 subscribers, so just wait for that. It's a really fun build that I really like a lot, and we get to use a weapon you don't really see a lot of play with, which is the Backfire, because it causes bleed when you reload. But you can get hella crit hit damage, hella crit hit chance, and you can just overall have a lot of fun using a more niche exotic. But in my opinion, it's a build that everyone should have. Once again, because it is good for the Iron Horse raid if you're trying to get what's it called, the Ravenous, or the what's it called, the Regulus. But with the mods here, which is the other main reason you're using this AR, for the optic you get 20% crit hit damage. For the mag, you get 30 extra rounds, which makes it the highest base mag on any assault rifle in the game. You have a 20% handling for the grip, which makes the weapon feel like nothing, even though it's already based off an M4. And not only that, it has 20% crit chance on the muzzle brake. The way you get this is from, as of right now, I believe it's still in the season rewards track at tier 90, and then at tier 91 you get the blueprint. Other than that, it should be an AR targeted loot by the start of next season, so yeah, that's one way you can go farm for this. Other options, you could run the Eagle Bear, which, like for the magazine, did have the second, it used to be the king for highest mag size, having 60 rounds in the mag, and where every other AR would basically have 50 base unless you used like True Patriots or I forgot, there was another brand or gear set that gave you extra magazine capacity. But you can use the Eagle Bear, which you can get from the Dark Hours raid or in the Dark Zone. I would recommend getting the Dark Hours raid to get this exotic AR. Bighorn's always an option. You can just really run whatever. FAMAS is like typically the best AR in the game for like a high end, but I like the Carbine 7 more just personally. You can use a regular TKB and then put like a strained on there since it has a slower to fire, so you can maximize that crit hit damage. The crit hit damage. Shield Splinterer or the Police M4 are also really good options that I could recommend. Going off onto the sidearm, I am using the Orbit, which is the named Dark Zone exclusive revolver, which you can get from named item caches, the Dark Zone as I just said, or from conflict caches. It comes with the talent Perfect Finisher, where swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy, so you can use it on a downed opponent in PvP. Grants 35% crit chance and 4% crit damage for 15 seconds. Attachments on here aren't going to really matter. I don't really have many attachments for this. If you want to, you can also use the TDI card custom, which is another PvP exclusive. You can get it the same way you can get the Orbit. And while holding it, you get an extra skill tier, which is pretty nice. But that's really about it for weapons. You do have a lot of availability here. I would recommend running more ARs, as most SMGs, aside from like the Lady Death, aren't really that good. They don't really hit that hard, and they aren't consistent enough. But other than that, let's just get straight into the items. Like I said, this is a pretty easy to get and build like kind of set for PvP. So starting off with the mask, I'm using the Coyote's mask. So this is an exotic mask that you can get from mass targeted loot or from the Jefferson Trade Center. Make sure that mission is not invaded and put it on heroic, and you should have a 10% chance for it to drop after you kill Coyote, who's the final boss at the end of the mission. It comes with 15% weapon damage, 5% crit hit chance, or 6% crit hit chance when you get max, 12% crit hit damage, and I have an 11.3% crit hit damage mod. With the talent, you have Pack Instincts. You and all allies gain bonuses based on the distance of the last enemy you hit, where from 0 to 15 meters, you get 25% crit hit damage, which you'll have some gunfights there, and obviously it'll make it so you hit that much harder. At 15 to 25 meters, you have 10% crit hit damage and 10% crit hit chance, so a little bit of best of both worlds. This is where most of your fights are going to be happening, somewhere between the 15 meters to 25 meter range. So you'll either have 25% crit hit damage or a little bit of both. And then at 25 plus meters, you'll have 25% crit hit chance, so you'll just basically guaranteed be hitting all your crits. But obviously, it will cap out at 60%, as most stats do for all these builds. Other options, if you want some more survivability instead of just raw crit hit damage and chance, you could run the Catharsis, which is another exotic mask. And essentially what goes on here is that you will have 170k armor, 20% incoming repairs, You have like about 4.8k armor regen, and I have a 5.1% create chance mod on here. It comes with the talent Vicious Cycle, where taking damage builds like stacks up to a cap of 30, and each stack will grant 1% weapon damage, which is really nice. So you can get 30% weapon damage just for getting shot 30 times. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. Now, the reason why I'm saying you should run this if you want more survivability, obviously you'll have 1.5 million armor with the build. Your DPS will take a little bit of a tank, but it is very nice if you're going against specifically St. Elmo's engine builds, where people are going to have that 70 shock ammo, because the second they shoot you 30 times, assuming you don't die in those 30 shots, you're going to get some extra heals and remove all status effects. So I recommend going for a roll immediately after Vicious Cycle purges for that cleanse, and then you're going to go roll to try to get into cover. Make sure you're not getting out of cover or you're too far away from cover, because you need to break that distance and create that gap between you and your opponents, so that way you don't get shocked next time. And then obviously it'll restore a lot of armor for you as well if you sit in the cloud, but obviously in the heat of the moment, if you're out of cover and you get shocked by the St. Elmo's engine, you're probably not going to be sitting in the cloud because you're trying to get away. But these are both options. You can get this from mass targeted loot, and you can get both these from exotic caches. Just wanted to point that out there. Going off next to the chest piece, I'm using a Fenris chest piece, giving me 10% AR damage for the 1-piece bonus. So on the chest piece, I have, 15% weapon damage, 6% crit hit chance, 12% crit hit damage, and I have a 5.1% crit hit chance mod with the talent Unbreakable, where in PvP it'll restore basically 50% of your armor, and for PvE it'll restore 95% with a 60-second cooldown. So basically it'll give you a little bit of bonus extra armor. So with 1.3 million armor on this build right now, it should theoretically be giving me, what is half of 1.3 million? 650k, if I'm correct. So you should have almost 2 million armor, which is pretty good actually, for a lot of your gunfights, which is overall nice. I recommend farming like Fenris targeted loot, or chest piece targeted loot, and then try to make sure you can get one that rolls with double crit, and then that way you can roll Unbreakable on here. It'll always roll with a red core, by the way. Going off next, we are using the Picaro's holster, which is a Brazos named holster you can get out of named item caches, and Brazo and holster targeted loot, giving you 10% skill hit, which is nice considering I'm using the scanner pulse and the defender drone. Oh yeah, here's the other piece, 20% magazine size for the 3-piece one for Brazos. So if you wanted some extra ammo in your St. Elmo's, that's one way you could do it. It'll always roll the blue core. I had mine at maxed, luckily, and it came with 6% crit chance, which I also got pretty lucky on. And then we'll always roll with a max 15% weapon damage bonus, which is the named item attribute of this piece, making it best in slot for a lot of PvP builds. Once again, you can get it from Brazos targeted loot, named item caches, and all this other stuff. So it's a pretty easy piece to farm. It is in the open loot pool. Growing off next, we have a Grupo backpack with 15% critical hit damage as the 1-piece bonus. My rolls here aren't the best, but you will have 15% weapon damage, 12% crit hit damage, 6% crit hit chance, and then I have an 11% crit hit damage mod on here with the talent Vigilance. You could also run Adrenaline Rush if you want to face tank a little bit more damage, but obviously considering with how many people are using the St. Elmo's engine, it's probably not good to get in their faces, especially since they'll just shock you and then you'll lose that gunfight. So kind of creating that distance and choosing your engagements more wisely with a Vigilance, having a 25% weapon damage bonus as long as you don't get hit is pretty nice, and it comes back after 4 seconds if you do get shot. So Grupo or backpack targeted loot are the ways to go here. You could also use a Cheska one if you want to get more crit chance, but we're not going to need it. Going off next to the gloves, I'm using the Contractor's Gloves, which is the named Petrov piece, giving us 10% LMG damage, but we're not using an LMG, so we don't have to worry about that. I have 170k armor on here. I have 8% damage armor, which is the named attribute here, and then I have 12% critical hit damage, which is pretty nice. You can get it from named item caches, glove, or Petrov targeted loot. And same thing for the Fox's Prayer, where it's from Overlord. It has also 8% damage to targets out of cover, which is pretty nice. You can get at named item caches, or Overlord or knee pad targeted loot. Got 12% crit hit damage on here, and then I have 170k armor on here. So one thing I did want to point out is that while I'm running the build like this, if you did want to maximize survivability and DPS output as well, but like more scale towards survivability, I recommend running the Catharsis with a Fenris piece that has In this case, I have one here with a blue core on it, but I have armor regen. So I'll have 1.7 million armor. So obviously you'll be a little bit more tankier, but your weapons obviously won't hit nearly as hard. But obviously you do have more survivability. You'll get a lot more armor out of that Unbreakable. But you can run the build both ways. I'll do one game showing where is it? Here we go. I'll do one game showing it like this, and I'll do another game showing it with the first game will be with the red build, with more DPS output, and I'll have another one showcasing the what's it called? The tankier version of this build. Oh, it looks like we're getting players pretty fast. But other than that, I will see you all in the next game, and hope you guys enjoy the video. See you later. Alright, looks like we got a match, sorry, like right after we, I called for that intermission, so that's pretty good timing, less editing for me. Alright. We got a 3-stack on our team. Oh, we're going against MVP, okay. And VIP. And someone else from, what's it called? From TSW, nice. Capital Ruins, pretty good map for this build, as you're going to be doing a lot more long-range engagements, which means we can get more out of that Vigilance. Overall, I do like this build a lot. It's a pretty easy and strong beginner's build that like a lot of players I think should be using if you're new and you're trying to get into PvP builds. It's a lot different than build synergy with PvE builds in the sense that where PvP you gotta have more multiplicatives, more DPS output, and that's more of a sense where more expertise and stuff like that comes into play, which is a system I'm not a very big fan of because it kind of negates a lot of skill from PvP. But if you want to stay competitive, this is one way I recommend doing it. So let's go get started with this match, and it should be a lot of fun.
Neutralize all enemies before you run out of reinforcements.
So we are with a 3-stack here, so they're going to be a lot more coordinated in their playstyle, so I'll try to divert attention so they can pull off some flanks. Let me go for my Carbine 7 first. Let's go get a little pulse out. I got pulsed, but they might be running pulse resistant builds. Double technician, firewall, and a sharpshooter. Interesting. Oh, okay, we found a guy here. I think he might have a sniper. Or he's running a Regulus build. Ah, okay. Alright, hold on. Let me go place my armor chip. Oh, it didn't apply. Okay. There we go. We melted him real quick. Oh, got with the Regulus. We're hitting for 180k crits here, which is decent. Trying to find these guys. Looks like my armor kit ran out. Look at that. Look at how fast I melted that guy right there. With the defenders, we're still hitting him for 100k headshots and 140k headshot crits, which is pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna start using my St. Elmo's engine a little bit more. Is that Stinger Hive? Wait, on the PTS patch notes, I saw that they were they were nerfing the range of the Stinger Hive in PvP, which I am a very big fan of, actually. Well, 150k crits to the body. I would love to see a headshot with this thing, then. $180k, almost 190k. Not bad. Alright, well, I'm gonna back up a little, because I don't have an armor kit to go face tank all that damage with. Is it a boost? Okay, we still have 50 seconds.
The boost is being taken by allies.
Our teammates got, and we got damage amp. Nice.
Allies have acquired the boost. System.
Come on, armor regen already. There we go. 200k to the body there, with the health damage too, by the way, but...
System disrupted.
Jammer.
Rogue
I'm gonna make sure that they're not
defender
flanking.
detected. Hostile defender drone detected.
Obviously, this isn't the best PvP build, as we are still missing out on a lot of survivability. Sorry, not survivability, like a lot of DPS output. Like my Striker's Spotters build. Okay, there we go. Oh, he's running max stat effects. Yeah, I'm gone.
Serious trauma detected.
Yeah. Stat effects are also pretty strong enough. 14 expertise, 18 expertise, yeah. Connect momentum, yeah. So he's running a full status effect build, which are still pretty strong and pretty much PvP meta still. And they're like, they're probably gonna only get even better after the new season comes out, as the new gear set will give you 40% burn damage, which is really strong actually. Now that I think about it, but I was watching some PTS gameplay. I was planning on playing on the PTS, maybe recording some streams there, but my like at least for me, and like it's typical for like a lot of PTS sessions where it's pretty laggy. And obviously that's not very fun for me to play, that's not very fun for you guys to watch. So maybe once they fix server issues with the PTS, I would like to record some gameplay for you guys, because I have a lot of fun playing with the new exotics. Melting him with this defender drone and his unbreakable. Look at that. Gone. Full mag. I'm dead, aren't I?
System curtailed.
Yeah, even my unbreakable can't keep up with it. But look at that armor kit. The armor kit did all the work for me.
Detected. Hostile Stinger hive
Look at that. I'm back to full armor after getting hit with that. Unbelievable. We're also about to get our shock ammo. Downed him. You hit with the, what is that, Plague of the Outcast? Yeah. Alright. We got shock ammo now. We're in business. Second he gets revived, he's about to die immediately. You're dead. Got 20 extra shock bullets. Oh, I'm dead. I'm gone.
Hostile defender drone detected.
Yeah. Wow.
Serious trauma detected.
10 expertise. 10 expertise. Yeah, so he's running a skill build and then Plague of the Outcast. Okay. That's interesting. That's an interesting build there. Yeah, I don't get to keep that shock ammo, sadly. But as you can see, the build hits pretty hard. You have some decent survivability, obviously. You could survive a max status effect build that I showed earlier if you use your armor kit. And especially since you have Unbreakable as well, that'd be pretty nice. But if you don't have Unbreakable, you're probably not going to survive those status effects, which is why I'm saying, while Unbreakable isn't the best talent, it's certainly a very good one. It's been a very meta-driven one, and it's still very good for dealing with status effect players. I want to be a little careful when peeking here. Can't really see him through my teammate. Okay, I gotta wait for this fire. Yes, he's got a flame launcher. Okay, hit that guy for a bit. His defender drone negated a lot of my damage. I'm gonna try to stay away from this choke because I keep getting hit with the status effects there. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of blocking your vision, teammate. He didn't get down, I don't think.
An agent needs assistance.
Status effect down. And you're down. Oh, there's more of them! Oh, my Unbreakable couldn't save me there. I pushed up. That was a bad play by me.
Agent out.
I thought my teammates took care of those other guys and they were about to spawn, so I was trying to shift their vision location on me, but I walked right into them. Unfortunate. One thing you will see at the end of this game, it does look like I'm dying a lot, but I'm not necessarily having like super important or impactful deaths. Where a lot of it has been kind of just me making bad plays. Look, we get even more survivability now. We have 2.6 million armor. With that armor buff right there from the bonus. You want to make sure you're getting those bonuses if you're new to PvP, because they make a real huge impact just on your damage and your survivability. Yum, a little there.
The enemy is about to be pulled out. You're too strong for this. No one's retreating. The fight
Still light this guy up.
There are no
You're
more
down.
reinforcements. Eliminate whoever.
Get that extra armor kit. I have 3 now. Alright, so I'm gonna assume spawns might have flipped. No, they didn't. Oh, am I dead to that fire? I have unbreakable, I have unbreakable. I have my armor kit. Yeah, look at that. That armor kit really helps you against those status effects. Don't sleep on it. Okay, well, you're gone, buddy. And that is GG's right there. We had a pretty dominant performance. Only times we really died were the status effects, and that one time where I accidentally just pushed up, like, around the end of the game there. But, as you can see, pretty easy performance there for us to win by. Had good DPS output, decent survivability, and we were able to have a pretty good game there. We were 10 points behind on getting that MVP. That's a crazy emo. What the hell? Okay. I've never seen that before. But we had a pretty good game there. Almost 2,800 XP, so let's see. 57 million damage. We went 10 and 3 with 2 assists. A lot of those deaths could have been avoided. But as you can see, the build is very good for a lot of new players. As long as you learn how to position yourself correctly, you learn when to take gunfights, when to use your armor kits and stuff like that, you'll be doing just alright with this build. Very strong, obviously. Once again, 57 million damage. We literally were 10 points behind batch MVP. So yeah, overall, really fun, a really fun build, super easy. We're gonna go into the next game where I'm gonna be using the 1.7 million variant of the build. So we will see you all in that one. And speaking of that, we got a match right away. Okay, it's probably against the same people, but, you know, can't complain. Going into the MVP player. We're going to be going on Wharf, so that's a little bit better. We'll see how this goes. I think it'll be fine. Just had a little bit of a slip up last one, and obviously they had a lot of expertise compared to us. But we didn't do horrible last game. We just obviously weren't able to compete on lives. Alright, let's see where this takes us. We'll try to get high ground first. And take advantage and try to hold that ground for as long as possible and try to gain map control, slowly push them up and back them into that corner. So we'll probably have to have someone going far outside alley. We'll have 2 going up top. I'll be one of them, and then maybe the fourth guy going under. So that way he can go check back fridge, and then he can go upstairs on the stairs, and then flank them while we're in the gunfight. That's what we'll see. And also, since I'm probably not going to be including the last game, this is for this game right here. I'm using the 1.7 million armor variant that I mentioned earlier, so y'all will at least know what I'm using. If you see, I have a lot more armor here, so you'll be doing a little bit less damage, but you'll have a lot more survivability.
Hostile defender drone detected. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile.
There's no way that
explosive
seeker mine's gonna go the
seeker
full
mine
way, right? These guys are playing pretty far back. Downed them.
Rogue restorer hive detected.
That's not gonna kill him, is it?
Hostile restorer hive detected.
Oh! We hit him. Let's armor kit up. We're gonna get a little bit more aggressive here.
Agent down.
That guy's running an all red build, 100%.
Agent down.
They're low. I wish my team pushed up. Ah. Let's get away from those oxidizers. Yeah, my team is so scared to push up. I literally had them boxed in a corner and low. Unreal.
Agent
Yeah, no, one of them's running an all-red DPS build. Maybe two of them, but I saw one of them was using oxidizers, so maybe it's a full-on status effect build. We were melting them, though. I don't know why my team didn't push up. We had them boxed into the little corner. Maybe I should have gone for a flank, but I saw two of them were 1 HP. Kind of had to go for it. Okay.
Boost about to come online.
Oh, getting shot.
Boost now active.
Can't really hit him there. So gotta take a little detour. Look at that, we melted him. You hit your shots consistently, you'll melt them. Doesn't matter if your AR doesn't deal a lot of damage. Because at the end of the day, we are here for shock ammo. Alright, let's play it up.
Defender drone detected. An agent needs assistance. Rogue explosive seeker mine.
Did I save my teammate here? Reloads, we have that shock
Explosive
ammo.
seeker mine detected.
What?!
Serious trauma detected.
Yes, thank you, teammate. Oh my god.
Boost will soon deactivate.
He quickscoped the crap out of me.
Boost has expired.
Is that Stinger Hive? Yes, we do have people there. Okay. I gotta be careful on those chokes, dude. That guy lit me up. Alright. Look at that. Oh, I got sniped. I forgot. So that guy's still in the back. Oh, I see him.
Agent in
He's
command.
kind of hard to see through all the oxidizer, but I know where he is. Alright. Let's just go take a different point of attacking. Okay.
Rogue restore hive detected.
So my other teammate and I are kind of overextending here.
Hostile restore hive detected.
Alright. You're dead.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
Ooh, he hits hard. Armor kit up. You're not gonna be able to kill me. Unbreakable? Okay. Nice. Thank you, teammate. Almost have my 70 shock bullets. Yep, not peeking that. I'm going to take a different approach here.
Agent down.
Okay, got my shock bullets. Got tenacity, but we're gonna melt him. Didn't shock him? He's running Hasbro? Maybe? Nope. Not today, buddy. Get up.
A friendly is claiming the supply drop. There's no pulling out. Keep
Get
fighting.
that kill confirm.
Rogues have run out of reinforcements. You can win this. The specialization supply drop has been claimed by an ally.
Kind of ignored this guy in front of me because I knew he wasn't the threat.
Hostile defender drone detected.
How am I not hitting? Is he gonna lag out? I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a decoy. Okay. Almost have my shock bullets again. Okay. Oh, wow! What did I just die to? Holy.
Agent deceased.
Okay, as you can see, you could still melt with this, even if they do have expertise. But, we swapped. Oh! Spawned right on him. What the hell was that? I just spawned right on them. And I didn't even get spawn protection or anything like that. That's so crazy.
Agent killed.
I mean, that's the game over. 23 expertise, 20 expertise, and you see, we're destroying them.
Solid.
So, yeah, both variations of this build do work. They are both very strong. I hope you did enjoy the video. This is a pretty easy build for beginners to put together. It's pretty strong. I do enjoy it a lot. I like running it sometimes. Kind of just wanted to turn my brain off. I don't need to think of using my skills or playing a certain type of way. Like, let's go look. 30, like almost 38 million damage. We went 6-3 with 8 assists. Our teammate went 14-1 with 3 assists. So obviously, him and I were doing a lot of work together because our teammates were playing further back. But as you can see, we were able to dominate people with max expertise and stuff like that. Where I had the most damage in the lobby by far, once again, almost 40 million damage. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Super easy to build to put together. Comment your thoughts or suggestions or changes you make to the build down below. Leave a like, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subs. And once again, I will be releasing that 100% Hasbro video once it comes out. Once I reach 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all for getting me so far. I will all see you guys in the next video. If you comment down below, I do read my comments, do interact with you guys, so make sure you just comment your thoughts down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.